Hi everyone, welcome to week 2. I'm going to get to grading the carb stories. But before I do, I want to make this video about Tableau. The idea behind this assignment is that you'll be introduced to Tableau. You'll know that Tableau exists. You'll download it on your computer. You'll have access to it. It'll be free. And you'll start to know some of the basics. The good thing about Tableau is that it's a powerful tool that when using it, you can easily create data, visualizations of data. You link it up with data sets, and then you can display those data sets in a way that's appealing and informative to an audience, and then you can then present. And that, of course, is going to be your assignment by the end of this week. You'll make a video like the one I'm making now, although you want to do this introduction part probably, where you'll have about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes is all, discussing a visualization that you've created. And I want to know about the visualization. I want to know what it represents. I want you to tell me about the charts that you have in the visualization. And then I want to know where you got your data from, and I want to know how you went about building this visualization. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. And this is an example of that. So first of all, before we get to the example, I want to show you where to go to get Tableau and how to download it and that sort of thing. So for that, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go here, share, and I'm going to show you, this is one I was working on earlier, but we're going to get rid of that. Okay, and now I want to go to the Tableau. So basically it's tableau.com, right? Can't get any simpler than that. You can just type Tableau into Google and it'll be the top result. So it's very easy to get there. Go to products and you'll notice there's a few different ones to choose from. My advice is to choose Tableau Public, right, because it's free. Some of the others cost money. The only drawback, or the main drawback, let's forget that for a little bit. That frightened me a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. It was trying to update, and now it's not really the time. Yeah, so the only drawback, as I was saying, of Tableau Public is that any data you put on there will become public. The advice here and like the expectation for me is that you'll use data that's already public. So you won't use any of your own proprietary data for this. That's not what I'm asking you to do, right? So don't do that. Tableau Public, go there, click on it, and you'll be taken to this page here. Enter your email address and download the app, and it'll download. And that's very straightforward. So do that. Then I want you to find some data. The data that I'll use today, I got from the Eurostat website. Eurostat. This is a great. It's a great resource, right? It's basically the statistical administration of the European Union, right? So any statistics that you can think of to do with Europe will be on there, and you can go down here. You can see statistics by theme, right? And there's these different themes that you can see for yourself. So whatever you're interested in, there's probably something there for you. But one of my students this week used this website here, US data, basically it is. Data.gov, that's it. Data.gov, this is all the US data. It's sort of the same as Eurostat for Europe, and this is for the USA. I do not mind where you get the data from. Not at all. Wherever you find the data that's useful or interesting to you is totally fine. I don't require you to use either of these websites, but they are there, and they're big aggregators of data. They've got a lot of data there that you'll probably find something on there that you're interested in. If though you have something else in mind, that's absolutely fine. But most of us, I think, will use one of these two websites. Okay. Let me open Tableau, and here's where I hope that the download, the update doesn't trouble us. Otherwise, I'll have to pause the recording and come back later. I'm going to get reminded tomorrow for that. Okay, great. This is what you'll see. So you've downloaded it, you've been on that website, you've chosen Tableau Public, you've downloaded it. Great. Now what you're going to do is you're going to see over here on this blue, you've got, you're going to connect, right? Which basically means like upload some data or something like that. All right. For our purposes, that's all it means. And so I recommend strongly, because this is what I've done, and I think it's the easiest way, Microsoft Excel files and text files. And when you go to data.gov or when you go to Eurostat, you'll usually have that choice, right, to be able to download a text file or a Microsoft Excel file. If you don't have a choice, move on to a different data set, or have a go at a JSON file or something. But I'll be honest with you, I haven't used that before, so I'm not sure how easy that would be. It might be just as easy. Maybe it's even easier, to be honest, but I don't know. So so I'm not going to tell you to do that. So I'm going to say a Microsoft Excel file. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look further down. And I'm going to say I did this at the beginning of the semester, 26th of the 8th, student mobility. This again was from Eurostat, so I'm going to open that up. When I click open, it's perfect, right? So there's only one sheet on that. So otherwise, if there's multiple sheets here, you might have to drag them over into here. But because there's only one, it's automatically done it for me. Why is it telling me to update now? I'm saying automatically update. All right, good. So you'll see now your data is there. It looks nice. It's all in nice columns and rows, and but you can see also there's a lot of data, right? And so looking at it like this is not telling us a ton, and it's basically just the Excel spreadsheet, right? This is no better than that. It's not really a great way to visualize data. If I wanted to learn something from this data sheet, it would be difficult. All right. You know, I'd be sort of reading up and down and trying to add things up in my head, and that's obviously not what we would do. So this is a good site to look at. This is a good page to look at to see, have I got along the top different types of data types. Look, this is text data, right? String data, perhaps. Right? This is you know, a number, right? But it's actually a date. So I could, if I want to change this. Actually, I'm not sure if I can do it from there. I'm not sure if I know how to do it from there, but I know how to do it from the page I'm going to show you in a minute. This is geographic data, right? And that makes sense, right? Because it's called sending country, right? So, but I wanted to show you that Tableau's recognized that. If you download a data set and Tableau isn't doing a good job of recognizing it, it usually does. But if it doesn't, you might want to like mess about with it to get it to recognize it. But you might also want to just use a different data set that it can recognize more easily. So that's a possibility. And I think what I'll do is I'll upload this file because I know this file works, but this might not be interesting to everybody, right? And probably it's a good idea to have some practice of downloading data or uploading data, connecting data to Tableau. And so this is what these symbols mean up here, and you've got the fields and everything, and the data down here. Great. So if it looks like this, you're onto something good. So I'm going to go to my first worksheet. I'm going to go to sheet 1, and we'll see what happens there when we get there. It's preparing data. This is quite a big data sheet, actually, so quite a big data set. So it might take some time to go between screens and that sort of thing. I want to focus again on the left-hand side where my cursor is, where my cursor. Pointer, and I want to notice two things. I want to notice we've got all blue things up here and all green things down here. All right, what this is continuous variables down here and discrete variables up here, roughly speaking. These are usually labels at the top, right? And these are usually sort of counts and sort of continuous variables, right? Where you numbers usually, right? And you'll see this number sign next to most of them. This is latitude and longitude. All right. So what I first want to see, I advise you like to when you're picking your data, think about some questions that you might want to answer, right? Because that's going to determine, first of all, what data set you choose, but then also, you know, what you then do at this point, right? When you're going to make your first chart, right? What do you want to make a chart about, right? What question do you have? And so I'm going to have a kind of a simple question of how many. Oh, let me explain what the data set is first. The data set that I chose that I thought I'd be interested in is about the Erasmus program in the European Union. And what that is students in the European Union can choose to spend a semester or more abroad in another European Union country at a European Union university somewhere else, right? Somewhere else in the European Union. And so they can study whatever they want. They can go to whatever country they want. They can go to whatever university they want. And so all of this this data is what you're seeing here. Look, There's the year, right? There's the end date. There's the level of study, right? There's the receiving country, the sending country, and then there's the partners like the universities. There's the start date and that sort of thing. Okay. And then down here, we've got things like duration in days, duration in months, how many months are people spending there, special needs, subsistence travel. This data, this count is like how many students went to, let me see how many students went to, this particular receiving country. How many students came from this particular sending country? So every data set's going to be a little bit different, right? It's going to have different variables over here, right? Depending on what the data is, of course, right? But I just want to explain a little bit what this data set is. So the first question I'm going to ask is, okay, what are the most popular countries that people go to? When people use this Erasmus, when they go on these exchanges, where do they want to go? And where do they go, I should say. And so what I'll do is I'll take receiving country, right, because that's where they're going, and I'll pop it up in rows, right, and you can see it's done that, right? This is Austria, this is Belgium, Bulgaria, this is Switzerland, right, which is actually not an EU member, but is involved in Erasmus, obviously. This is the Czech Republic, Cyprus. Anyway, I won't name them all, but I do know them all, I promise. Here's Turkey as well, which is also not an EU member, but is part of this exchange program. Macedonia. All right, anyway. So you see that, and we've got something here, and this ABC usually means, hey, well, actually this is because we've got a string variable here, all right? But all we have now is just one part of our table. What I'm going to want to do is like how many students went to each of these countries, and so I'm going to pop it up in here, columns, aha, and see what it's done. It hasn't given me a table. I can have a table if I want, but what it does is it sort of chooses a simple graph, a simple chart that it thinks might be a good chart to display that information on. And it looks not too bad, right? We can start to see immediately now where the more popular countries are, where more students are going, and where fewer students are going. And to make it even more obvious, there's a button up here that ranks them from most to least, or from least to most. You see those two buttons there. I'm just going to press this one because I asked where do people go the most, right? And the answer is Spain, right? So Spain, popular destination. At least in this year. I'm going to get rid of the show me for now, just so we can see that chart. And so I see in this year, Spain, which is ES, España, right, is about 39,000. And if I hover over it, it'll probably tell me 39,277, so good guess. All right. Next is Germany, next is France, next is GB, which is Great Britain, Italy, Poland, Netherlands. All right, it's good. So that's interesting, and that's something that I can see there quite clearly. I might want to get some color involved because maybe it's a little bit boring. So I mean, I can change the color to orange if I want. The other thing I can do though is this. I can take this count. Right? Let's see, it's changed. It was just data that well. It's data count now. It's count data. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Control, and this is going to like copy it, right? So if I can pull it away, oh, actually, let me see. I'm going to pull it down here. And so I've just copied it down here, and it's put it in detail, but that's not really what I meant. I meant to put it up in color. Okay, let's get rid of this. And I'm just dragging it out, and it goes away. See now how it's kind of intuitively understood what I've meant there. It's kind of figured out what I wanted. What I wanted was, you know, the bigger the number of people going there, the higher the number of people going to a particular country, I want that to be darker, right? And so that's a bit of gradation there, right? And we can sort of see nicely what that's doing. All right. So we've done that. So we've seen that we can color bar charts depending on the number. And if we want to change the color, we'll just click on the color like this, and we'll change it. Look, that's the border. We'll edit colors, and we might want to do like a red, like an orange blue diverging thing, right? We might try that. Okay, that's all right, I suppose. But the good thing is we can just click around and have a look. And let's say we somehow got off color, but we've got this, and we're like, no, I want to go back to the blue. Well, we can just do the undo, right? There you go, easy. Back to the blue. I like the blue the best, I think. There. See, almost nobody's gone to Macedonia or Lithuania. Is that Lithuania? Oh, yeah, that's Luxembourg. Yeah. What is it? 68 people. One person went to Macedonia. Okay. All right, so that's that. Now, click on the show me up here. Because what I want to do there is, you'll see, right, receiving country is actually a geographic term. So I have this option here with maps. And on the show me pane, let me move myself out of the way. On the show me pane here, you'll see like some of the charts are highlighted, like they're, you can see them colorfully dark and everything. Some of them are not, like these are kind of faded. And Tableau is telling you, hey, you can do one of these charts, or you can click on that. And these charts make sense to us, and there's just a table. These charts make sense to us, but the ones, these don't. And so if we do that, if we click on that, it won't give us it. It's telling us, you know, we might need a date, right? One date. Oh, and I was going to show you how to change the dates. See this call year here, it's in numbers. Well, let's convert, change data type, and change it to a date. And so that's call year now. So we can maybe pop this up. What happens if we put this up there? Oh, there's only really 1 year though. It's only 2013, so that's not going to be very useful. But I have, it has recognized it, and so it does allow me now to do these other ones. But because there's only one data point, see, there's only 1 year, that's not going to tell us anything, right? So these are, it now will let me do this, but there's only 1 year, so it's not a great choice, right? So that's interesting. Okay, let me take that off again. And let me actually just use the go back and get back to where I was. Where was I? Here I was, good. But what I want to show you is the map. Look how simple it is to make a nice map. Just click on map. You've got your geographic thing here. Oops, there we go. So there's the European Union, and it's colored darker depending on which country has the more people. So Spain is the darkest, right? Let's remember Germany, France, Britain, kind of next. And then you've got more Eastern European countries here, some Scandinavian countries. Anyway, you can see what you're looking at. And the great thing is, right, these maps are in here, right? They're already in Tableau. Tableau, like it would do the same if you had US map data. It has a lot of maps already built into it. So, you know, if you click on that map icon, it gives you a map of your data. That's you know, very easy, very simple. All right, good. So I like that. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to not do a story, but I'm going to do a new dashboard. So I'm going to click on new dashboard here. And what I'm going to do, and this is the sort of important part here, well, I like to have the size. I like to have a fixed size. And I like to do it like the generic desktop. Okay, good. So now I know that like this is going to fit on a desktop, and so, okay, good. Layout. Okay, so I've got that how I want it now. And this is sheet 1, right? Which you'll recognize it's our map. Now, what I recommend you do here, you can just get hold of it and drag it on there, and boom. And what it'll do, it'll just take up the whole space that you've got, right? But I don't really like doing that. I mean, if we then drag something else on, it'll just take up half the space. Each will take up half the space. But I like to have different sizes for my charts and things. So I'm going to cut that off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Control. If I hold Control and drag it over, it's going to take, but I'm going to be able to resize it. Yeah, so I can resize that. I can get rid of that. I don't want that. You get the idea. Oops, it's bigger again. Was it maybe? You know what? I'm wondering actually if it was Control or if it was Shift. Let me try Shift. Yeah, it's Shift. So use Shift, not Control. And so I want it, maybe I only want it this big, something like that. Okay, now I can move it over there. I can put there. Okay, good. I can edit the title, right? I've double clicked up there, so I'm going to put receiving countries or something like that. Well, see how it's got sheet name there? If I just leave that there, I can go and change it over in the sheet down here. So I can go and change the name here. So something like, oh, forget that, because let's do it down here. Yeah, let's just change it down here. This is probably the best way to do it. Put receiving countries popularity or something. Yeah, I'll call it that. And then if I go back to my dashboard, right, this has changed. right? And this has changed down here as well. So that's something to notice. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. So let's see what else. Maybe the other thing I want to know is like where are people coming from? Like which countries are people coming from? So let's go over here and let's go to well, yeah, I suppose instead of receiving countries, I just want sending countries, right? So I'm just hovering over the color there, and it's going to, I think, change the color depending on. It's doing so. It's changed its mind on which graph it wants, but I'm going to put it back to this one because I like this one better. Oh, that's a lot of. You know what? I'm going to check that, right? I'm going to go put this up here. I'm going to get this out, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the receiving countries. And I'm going to go to show me, and I'm going to go to this bar chart again, and I'm going to do this, right? And oh, and you know what? What I should have done there, right, is made a new worksheet. So actually, that's what I'm going to do now. So I've messed that one up a little bit. Let me get rid of that. Let me go receiving country, and then let me put the map back, right? Because that will have altered our dashboard, right? But now I've put it back. Okay, good. So I'm going to do another sheet now, sheet 2. I'm going to call it sending countries. Okay, and now I'm going to do sending country and then count. I'm going to do this. So the sending country, Spain, and then France, then Germany, then Italy, Great Britain. But I'm going to do another map, I think. There we go. So we see now Spain, Germany, France are the most. So students here are the ones who are most going abroad, most likely going abroad. So that's interesting. And so I'll go back to my dashboard, and actually let's move my dashboard over here. Go to my dashboard. And here's my sending countries. I'm going to press Shift again, hold Shift, and just pop it on there. And then, nice, I'll get rid of that. That's not that useful at this point. There you go. So there's the basics, right? So the basics are this. The basics are link up a data source over here, check down here, make sure it looks good. Go to your first sheet, which is going to look like, oh, sorry. Which is not going to look quite like that, but it's going to look more like this. Know here's where your variables are. Know that you're dragging variables over. Let's do like a language. Which languages are people studying? So there we go. Look, many fewer. Know the show me pane. Know that you can come over here and just press different buttons and just get different graphs, right? And some of them won't let you press because you haven't got the right kind of variables. That's a nice one, right? English is the biggest language that's been studied, and then Spanish, French, and German, Portuguese, and Italian. And then these are the guys over here. That's not a bad one. Yeah. So know that. And honestly, part of it is just moving stuff about. Now, I'm going to end this there. This is going to be Tableau 1. And this has got the instructions at the beginning, remember, for what I'm looking for from the assignment. There's also instructions on the syllabus, of course. It's got like a how to download Tableau, how to find some data, how to link the data with Tableau, and how where to look for your variables, how to drag your variables about. It's also got like a how to make a quick dashboard, right? Which is, you just go down here and click View Dashboard, right? And then you've got your sheets here, and you just start moving them over. Boom. That's almost it. I did say hold down Shift for that if you want to be able to resize it a little bit better. And so you can do that, and you can do that. You can do that, and then you can move them all around to get to what you like. You can change the size of this, right? And like I said, I like the fixed size, and I like the generic desktop. Right now we can arrange our things where we want them. Well, we can, you know, all the same colors there, but I showed you how to change the colors as well on the sheets, right? Down here, edit colors. And I showed you this, right? They show me. So that's the basics there. There's two other videos that I already have on Canvas that are going to give you some other features of Canvas. So have a look at those if you'd like. There's also, you know, there's definitely videos on the internet, on YouTube that'll cover Tableau as well, and so look there. But I wanted to give you something to sort of start from, and so this is that video. Enjoy. I look forward to seeing what you might be interested in. I look forward to seeing you do stuff with Tableau, and see you next time.